Hello everyone, Amanda here, thanks for joining me. So today I've got a lovely trifold for you. Now I've made this quick and easily so that it's perfect for those who are new to journaling, and if you're not new to journaling it would be an awesome insert at which you can step up. It can be a standalone thing, or you could make several and put them in a little kind of a case or a box to make a set. So these papers, the background papers that I've used in the entire thing, are available as a download absolutely free of charge over on my Ko-fi. If you decide you want to download it, when you go to checkout, just put in 0.00. It'll go to your PayPal email and you'll be able to download it. So I've decorated the front very simply. I've used some lovely flowers that I had gifted, some die cuts and just a little ticket, but you can leave it absolutely plain or decorate it however you like. So it's quite a slim little trifold folio, beautifully decorated just with the beautiful papers. I've kept it really simple. So on the inside here we've got this little like belly band type thing with some lovely lace, and it is glued in sections so that you can put these lovely tags in. These are just plain ready-made tags, but you can cut them simpler and then just with a stamp. So this page here has a pocket for a journaling tag. Okay, and I've just lined it very simply with some flat lace just for decoration. So that opens that way, okay, and you've got another pocket there. Now here I've added just a small signature. You can add more pages. This is just a copy of paper that I have stenciled, and I'll show you how I've added that in. Okay, and then on this section here we've got a waterfall pocket, so we've got this lovely tag. Okay, very easily just layered again with papers. This is a lovely pocket lined with some flat lace. Then this top here holds the whole thing shut. It's very, very simple, and then that lifts up, that lifts down, and there's your waterfall element. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you've got obviously the back of each one, and you've got this section here. I didn't paper the back. I thought that would be nice for writing. You could put photos there and then write about what they are on the back. Okay, and then so the pocket lifts up, that flap lifts down, and then when you put your tag in, as I say, it holds it all nicely. Now the good thing about this is that the signature section comes away separately, so you've basically got the equivalent of 2 little inserts if you so wanted, but this actually goes inside and creates it into a trifold. Let me just get it in straight. I've made it quite snug. Okay, and then each one has got a little strengthened spine, but that's slim enough to go in a journal. So if you're interested in how I've made that, keep watching. I'll get the supplies together and we'll make it together. Off we go. So you've got 2 bases for this insert trifold folio type jobby. So the first one measures 8.5, all my measurements are in inches, 8.5 by 7. So on the 8.5 side, which is the longer, the 7 is the drop. Okay, we're going to score at 4 inches. Let me use that one. 4 inches, and then 4.5. Oops, gone off track a bit there. 4.5. Okay. Now use whatever cardstock you've got, because you're going to layer it with some kind of papers, whether you use my free download or scrapbooking paper or whatever, and so don't worry about the thickness or the durability of it. It will come together in the end. Okay, so that is your first base, and just fold it there. Okay, bob that to one side. Your second base here, base B, measures 10 by 6 7/8. Okay, and we're going to score at 3 3/4, 4 1/8, and 7 7/8. So 3 3/4, 4 1/8, and 7 7/8. Okay. So on this one, this is base B. This small section here folds to the back, okay, and that creates a pocket on the back, and then just fold them 2 score lines, and that is your small spine, okay. Right, so on base B, this is where we're going to attach our signature. Now I've pre-made my signature here, so this is just copy paper, or you can use book pages or your vintage pages, whatever you want. Okay, I've just used copy paper, and I've used about, I think I've used 5 sheets here. And when they fold them in half, so they're just A4, fold them in half and cut them to 3 3/4 by 6 3/4, okay, and then line them all up together and sew down the middle, okay. Super simple. If you don't have a sewing machine, you can just do it by hand, just do a running stitch, it's easy. Alright, and then we're going to just attach it to here. So what we're going to do, and I've done this several times before, it's going to just glue. So you just get the back page, okay, of your signature, fold it about 3/4 of the way. Alright, grab your glue. Oops, it's a bit bunged up. Grab your glue, just move that out of the way. You're going to glue this where you've folded. You're going to fold that over. That creates a pocket and that makes it sturdier. You would then line that with your background papers, okay. Then you're going to glue this section, not very straight, on 3 sides. 1, 2, 3, okay. And then on the back where you've got this flip here, fold that over, put your signature up to the score line but not directly on it. Okay, line it up top and bottom. The measurements that I've given you should make it so that it just fits nicely. Okay, and then glue that in. Okay. Alright. Mine have protruded there because I've not cut them terribly straight. Just to take a bit more time, let me just make that a bit straighter so that it's not protruding. Okay, but it doesn't want to be right on the score line, else it won't close. There we go. If it protrudes a bit, just go back later and trim a bit off if you want, but I don't mind that it's protruding a little bit. So the back here, if you want to line with your papers, do that first, then glue your pocket down. Very carefully. Okay. Leave that to dry, and you're gonna put a journaling card in the back of there, okay, so that will slip in there like so. Now the journaling card measures 3.5 by 6 1/4. You can pause the video, I've put measurements on all the pieces, okay. You can also rewind it and watch it again if needs be. Okay, so that journaling card will go in there. Okay, I'm just going to clip that a minute to help it dry while we do the A base. That's the B base done. That's done. Okay, set that to one side. You would layer there with paper, layer there with paper. If you want to do the inside, you can. Okay, so that is base B. So let's come back to base A. Okay, again, line it with papers if you want, front and back before you start. Alright, so in here we're going to have the waterfall section and the belly band section. So, where's my belly band gone? Here we go. So your belly band measures 7.5 by 2. Okay, 7.5 by 2, and then we're going to score top and bottom at 1/4 inch. Okay, so we'll do that first. So 1/4 inch at the top, and this measures 7.5, so I'd go down to 7 1/4. Okay, then fold that over. If you want to just very carefully notch those edges gently so you've no chance of them showing when it's glued down, you can, but you don't have to. They shouldn't show. Okay, so then we're going to do these scars. When you do the scars, you need to have the top one folded over, and then, okay, so do it with that folded over, and we're going to scar at 2 1/4 and 4 1/2. So it's very important that that is folded over before you scar. Okay, otherwise it'll be too big. Alright, so then we're going to scar at 2 1/4, which is there, and a 4 1/2. Okay, and it's going to roughly give you even sections. Might be a little bit out, but it's fine. Okay, and then to go in there, you're going to make 3 little tags. Okay, not that one, that's my large tag. And each one of those measures 4 1/2 by 2 1/4. Okay, no it doesn't, no it doesn't, ignore me, that's my template size. Each tag measures 3 3/4 by 1 7/8, my apologies. And then you just notch the tops. This is my template that I use to notch the top, so just like so. Sorry about that, I wasn't paying attention. So again, these tags are 3 3/4 by 1 7/8. Okay, hope I'm in shot. And you need 3, because one's going to go in there, one's going to go in there, and one's going to go in there. Alright, so let's just bob these to one side. So that's inside base A. So what you want to do is glue the top where you've scarred and the bottom where you've scarred, and then very lightly put a line of glue on each of those scar lines. That's going to give you your 3 sections. Okay, one, 2, 3. Leave that to dry before you try putting your tags in, otherwise they might stick to the glue. So you would line that with your papers first, then add this on. Now when you're adding your papers on here, you can just do it in one piece or you can do it in individual sections, but you'll need to measure them. And when I lined mine with paper, I left an increment of 1/8 of an inch round everything. So you'd cut your papers 1/8 of an inch smaller and it will line it. So then all you need to do is line this in, find roughly the centre. Okay, I mean you can measure it if you want, but give that a press, give them sections a press. Okay, leave that to dry, and then each of those little tags will slide in each section. You can put a little hole in or whatever you want. Okay, stamp them, cover them. Alright, so the next bit is going to be we're going to do the back pocket. So this is the section, so turn that over, this is the section where you're creating a pocket to slide base B into. Okay, we'll do this. So that section measures 4 1/4 by 7 1/2. Okay, there you go. And we're going to score it on 3 sides, top, bottom and side at 1/4 of an inch. Alright, so 1/4 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch, and 1/4 of an inch. If you find that your ball tool, your scoring tool is dragging, just rub it on the back of your hand or in the scalp of your head, and that little bit of oil that you put on will help it glide through your card. So then fold over obviously those 1/4 of an inch score marks and carefully, and then give them a burnish with a bone folder. Make it nice and crisp so that it sits flat. Open it back up and you want to just notch straight across there. I'm in shot. Straight across there, just notch straight across the cross. Okay, and same here. just go straight across the cross in a straight line, so that you've got that, so that when they're folded inwards they don't overlap each other. Okay, and then just come here, you want to notch this one, I just need to make sure I'm in shot, and notch this one. Okay. Okay. So you're going to the back, so your belly band is stuck to the front, so turn it over and go to the back, and this wants to go this way, so your pocket section is there and the glued down section is by the spine. Don't glue it the wrong way around or it won't work. So then add your glue, and then you're going to need to wait for that to dry. Okay. So I have Bulldog Clips. I get them either from the Works or from the pound shop. Sometimes you can get them in the range and you get like 5 for £1. And I put those on and help me hold things together whilst the glue dries. So then you just add that on there. Try not to go right up to the score line, just before it, okay, so that that folds nicely. Alright, make sure it's lined up and that it's straight, and then give it a press. Okay. Okay. Go easy with the glue so it doesn't all splodge out and stick your pocket together. Okay, and then you've got a pocket there at the back. Alright, so mine might not glue properly because you really do need to wait, because it's only 1/4 inch, you need to wait for that glue to dry. I don't like using double-sided tape because I find that it comes undone after time. So then go back to the inside to the front here, and this is where you're going to start and add your waterfall flips. Now you need to cut these to 3 3/4 by 4 1/4, and you need 7, okay, all together. And then what you need to do is score all of them on the long side, so have it turned to the long side, so the 4 1/4 side, and score at 1/2 inch. Okay, so I've done all of mine except for this one. So this is the 4 1/4 side, we're going to score it at 1/2 inch. That makes these all the same size then. Fold it over. Okay, now if you want you can round the corners, that looks nice. And what I do, if I was you before I started, if you want to, is you can layer the back with some scrapbooking paper. Now I didn't do that on mine. What I ended up doing was, because I forgot, because mine was just a template, what I ended up doing was I didn't line mine with scrapbooking paper. If you look at mine, I just, after the final flip, I just layered that bit. So that's a way of saving on your paper, is to just layer that bit. It's easier. Okay. Ooh, I've just chucked that on the floor. Never mind. Right, so what you're going to do first of all, make sure all of these are really well burnished so that they sit nicely. So burnish really firmly and nicely. So start with your first one, and if you can get your first one straight, you're onto a winner, because the rest will follow. Alright, so this one wants to go at the top, and I have just left a tiny space, about 1/8 inch at the top there, and make sure you've got even space either side, just so it looks more pleasing on the eye. Alright, and if you get that one straight, you're onto a winner. Then you want to get one and it wants to go on the bottom. Okay, so they're all the same size. And just lift that up. And then do the bottom, do it the same, leave about 1/8 inch. And the same sort of gap all the way around. Then just close that top one and check that they're lined up. Okay, down there and down there. Okay, If you can get those two nice and straight, it will make the rest of it just come together a lot quicker. Alright, so then you get your other ones. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, another 5, and you want to glue each one underneath your 1/2 inch piece. Glue it. Underneath, line it up. If you've got that one straight, the rest should be straight, and glue it. Okay, just fold your flap down, make sure it's even each side, and just do that with the rest of them. Okay. Okay, so that's all of our waterfall sections in. Alright, and they should all line up neatly. When you go that way, they should line up. When you go that way, they should line up. So with this section here, obviously you can line them all with the lovely papers. All the free download, the link's in the description box below. So then lay them all down, okay? Lift the top one up, close the first one, and the top one goes over the bottom one, yeah? Okay, so lift the bottom one up, lift the top one down. Now, to make sure that it shuts, we're going to make a pocket here and put a tag in it. So the pocket measures 3.5 by 2 3/4. Don't forget, when I'm in teaching mode, I'm quite serious, so you don't get as many silly giggles. It's because I'm trying to concentrate, and so I don't give you wrong information. Okay. You should be able to make this project in an hour or so, and then when you get to the paper layering, well, it shouldn't take you more than an hour or so to make this. Watch my video be 4 hours long. Right, so that pocket is on there now. So then this is where you need your larger tag, and this measures 2.5 by 6, and then I've cut the edges off. Either use another tag as a template, or I have this that I use, and it's just the right size for my angles. Okay, and now that will slide in there. Okay, and it will keep that waterfall section closed. All right. Perfect. So now these sections should be dry, so you should be able to get your little tags in. Okay. If they're a bit stiff, you might need to just stick a ruler in. You might have some excess glue on there. Okay. But they do fit, I promise. So that one's a little bit stiff. Let me just, might have some excess glue. Let me just see if I can find a thin ruler. Okay, just stick your ruler in, give it all a wiggle. Might have just got some glue splodged. And just carefully wiggle your ruler up and down, and then you should be able to easily fit that tag in. Okay, so that rectifies that if you've got a bit of excess glue. So that's base A done. Okay, so then you get base B, which we created earlier, okay, and it will slide in the pocket to base A. Or it should do. Of course it does. Mine's not completely dry. Okay, and that slides in there. It does fit in quite snug, okay, I will say, but that's so that it doesn't all just flop apart. So you just need to make sure that that top waterfall page is underneath the tag and close in there. And that's how you create your little trifold folio. And then from there it's just a case of decorating it. If you want to strengthen the spine, add some lace or cut a thin strip of extra cardstock. Okay, just measure it and cut a strip and layer it over the top. And then from there it's just decorating. And as you can see by mine that I've thrown on the floor, it's a very, very pretty little trifold folio to make. Plenty of tags, little pockets, and you've got your waterfall element, and then obviously they come apart like so, so that you've got 2 little booklets. I hope you've enjoyed that tutorial. I hope you'll give it a try. Don't forget the link to these papers, absolutely free to download, is in the description box below. Take care, have fun, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.